Hello everyone. We will be going in continuation with calculus variations. We'll be going and just solving the Brachistochrone problem. What it is nothing but the shortest time of descent problem. In the last lecture, we have seen the shortest distance. Here we are talking about the shortest time of descent problem. What is the problem? Find the shortest path on which a particle in the absence of friction will slide from one point to another point in the shortest time under the action of gravity. So we have to note down few things here. First of all, it's an absence of friction. Second thing is action of gravity. And what I need the shortest path on this. But what I needed here, my target here is to find out the shortest time to reach for a particle from one place to another place without a friction, an absence of friction and under action of the gravity with the shortest path and shortest time. So I need to deal with this too, right? Now, so shortest time, we have to deal with the shortest time here. Let us consider, let the particle slide from the O, the point O, and along the path OP1. OP1 is the path given to this particle. Fine. Then what is the assumption? Let at time t, the particle is reached at this point. At time t here, right? Okay. What is again? Again, I'm just talking about a distance. So the arc length of OP is nothing but small s. Fine. Now, the principle of work and energy. What is the principle of work and energy? It says that work done by the particle is nothing but now in the present case we have got the kinetic the difference between the kinetic energy at two different points, right? Now here we have to consider a kinetic energy at P minus kinetic energy at O. What is work done? Work done is nothing but the force into displacement, force into displacement, and therefore this kinetic energy at P. So what is the kinetic energy? It's nothing but half K is half m v square, velocity square, right? So here if you observe kinetic energy at point P is half. Let us consider the mass of that particle is small m, and it's a v square, so that is ds upon dt the square minus now the Ke at O B equals to 0. Why? Because at this point my velocity is 0, and because that is the original point, that is from that point the particle will start floating. Work done, as I've told, it's a force into displacement. So force is mg and displacement is y. Because we are considering here it is along y-axis and therefore it is mgy. And if you observe this simplification, I would get it ds upon dt is square root of 2gy. Now, time taken by the particle to move from O to P1 is given by. So because I'm talking about the particle O to P1, because I have to see in this case, this is the point P1. We have just deal with OP, P point, and we have talked about in terms of X and S and all. Right now we have to find out this from O to the point P1. What are the coordinates of P1? X1 comma Y1. So it is nothing but T is nothing but capital T is 0 to capital T dt. So it's I wanted to find out the time, right? So which is 0 to x1 because it's along that, and it's ds. So dt is nothing but displacement upon velocity. So it's ds upon square root of 2gy, which is equals to 1 upon square root of 2g integration from 0 to x1, and this we have seen in the last, the shortest distance time. This is square root of 1 plus y dash squared divided by square root of y dy dx. So this is what, this is nothing but a distance. If you'll observe here, you have seen this, how this derivation has come from the shortest distance before the video here. Then what is this t? T, that means what this entire thing we can reduce it to 1 upon square root of 2g integration 0 to x1 integration square root of 1 plus y dash square upon square root of y dx. So what is this? Now this is becomes my t, and what I need to minimize this. So that means now it's what? Brachistochrone problem is to find y for which this functional is minimized. This functional is minimized. So if it is a functional, what is the f? We have to we can easily find out. This f is nothing but square root of 1 plus y dash square upon square root of y. Now if you again observe under this, it is x is not coming in this function explicitly. Therefore, we have discussed about this. It's Beltrami identity. What this identity said, if it is x is absent, then this is nothing but an equation of that Euler's Lagrange equation. Is this is what is that, and therefore I could this if I'm putting the value f is square root of f is square root of 1 plus y dash square upon square root of y dash as it is over here, and derivative of this f, that means this f with respect to y dash is nothing but here, and which is equals to constant, say for constant is some c. Then what will happen? This will be same, and now we are differentiating this. So in the next step, I have done everything step by step. If you observe here, this is differentiation of this entire thing has been written it here. Now if you'll differentiate this identity, numerator, denominator by y dash, so this denominator is a constant, so 1 upon square root of y is out. So it is out, and the rest of the things square root of 1 plus y dash square will be going for the differentiation, which will be getting at y dash upon square root of 1 plus y dash square, which is equals to c again. Then just an adjustment, cross multiplication and adjusting the terms, you will see that this y dash square will go off from here, and we will remain here with 1 upon square root of y into square root of 1 plus y dash square, which is equals to c. Now again, little bit of adjustment, taking the inverses and all, we will be getting square root of y into 1 plus y dash square is equals to 1 by c, and we are saying this 1 by c is some constant square root of a. Why are we saying this square root of a? Just to clear this square root of sign from both the place. It's a constant, so it doesn't matter. Just for an understanding and just for our simplicity, we are just taking the constant as square root of a in this case. Then what will happen? It's nothing but y. We have just taken it out, that's squaring both the sides. It's y into 1 plus y dash square is small a, which is get reduced, this y will come to the other side, and we will be having y dash square is a minus y upon y, just taking that one side, one to the other side and taking the LCM and all. Y dash is square root of a minus y upon y, right, which is again the same. It's y dash is nothing but dy by dx, and therefore just splitting it up, that dy is will be here with this and this, so it will giving me the inverse of, so what is the quantity? Square root of y upon a minus y dy is equals to dx. What will I get out of it? Now at this case, it is nothing but integration of dx. I'm integrating both the sides. I'm going to get this as integration. And since 0 comma 0 is a point on the curve, because we are starting the sliding to that particle from the 0 origin, our c will get 0. What is this? This is nothing but you will be getting, after getting the integration here, you will be getting one c over here, and that c will go to 0 because of this 0 comma 0 is a point, and therefore this will go to 0, and we have not written it here, the point c. Now what will happen? We wanted to find out this integral. What is this? We are going to go for the substitution, y is equals to a sine square theta. So dy becomes 2a sine theta cos theta d theta. After putting these values in this integral over here, we are going to get the LHS's integration of dx will give me x, which is equals to integration of this entire thing. So I'm replacing y by a sine square theta and dy by 2a sine theta cos theta d theta. So if you observe, this is dy and this is y, we are getting replaced as a sine square theta. Just by an integration, x is equals to integration, it's just you taken out that the adjustment, it's a is coming out and will get cancelled here, and this 1 minus sine square theta is nothing but this cos theta and all. So after this trigonometry, we are going to get this as sine theta upon cos of theta 2a sine theta cos theta d theta, right? And actually it's sine square, so it's a double angle formula. So it's 1 minus sine square theta will be getting at, I think it's a 2 over here. Then only this quantity would go from here. Okay, this cos of theta here. So this cos of theta and this cos of theta will go from here. So because it's 1 minus sine square theta is cos square theta, while coming out of the square root, I'm going to get its cos of theta. This cos theta and this cos theta will go off. I'll remain here with this a integration to sine square theta d theta. And this is equals to a integration 1 minus cos of 2 theta d theta, right? And if I will integrate this I'm going to get, because it's a 1 is a constant with respect to theta, so this integration is theta minus cos of 2 theta, it's nothing but minus sine 2 theta by 2, that 2 will come out of it here. And this 2, because if this 2 we have taken it out over here, this 2 is getting multiplied with this theta, and therefore it's a by 2 theta minus sine 2 theta. Now let us, for our simplicity, to find out what curve it is, we are just finding out, we're just substituting, or we are just keeping this constant as a by 2 we are keeping at b, and 2 theta we are keeping as some angle phi. So what is it? We are going to get x is equals to b phi minus sine phi. So it's b here. This is 2 theta is phi minus sine of phi, right? And what will happen with y? Now, if you observe this a by 2 and 2 theta, we are keeping it here in this y, we are also going to get the same thing. Because see, this sine square theta, I could write down as 1 minus cos of 2 theta. So if you observe this here, this y is equals to a into 1 minus cos of 2 theta, right? And this is divided by 2 over here, because it's whole divided by, I'm taking it out. So what is this? This a by 2 is nothing but by b over here, which we have assumed here the value, and 1 minus cos of 2 theta. 2 theta is again getting replaced as phi, and therefore we are getting y is equals to b into 1 minus cos of theta. What curve is this? This curve is nothing but a cycloid. So cycloid is the curve on which we are going to get the particle, the shortest time problem, or you can say the Brachistochrone problem will get satisfied by the cycloid. So this is what is the Brachistochrone problem. This is if we'll just go and see the entire question in pieces, like what are the assumptions, then we have got the point from O to P, and then we have assumed, we have found out the value, we have assumed S, then we have set the kinetic energy at P minus kinetic energy at O is equals to the work done, and so on. So in this way, if you'll just go and see this video again, you will understand the problem very well. Now, my suggestion for you all is just take the one word problem, that problem statement, and just try to go through the video once again and try to solve entire question on your own. It's just an integration, nothing else. It is very important to find out the problem or formulation of the problem, formulation of the functional, and then solve it accordingly. I hope this is the calculus of variation problem, which is a very important problem, and this problem is getting the solution using calculus of variations. I hope you must have understood this. Thank you. Happy learning.